Hey everyone, it's Brandy and you are watching Abstract Crafter. Today we're gonna do kind of a post review. It's more or less gonna be a wrap up, final thoughts on this beautiful SeaWorld from Wotion online on Amazon. But there's a little bit more to it than that. So if you want to hear my thoughts on SeaWorld from Wotion, see what the finished product looks like, all of that, then just keep on watching and we will get into that as soon as we roll those intro clips. Alright guys, let's get into this. So, Wotion online, and I did a drill with me on this. It is the Dolphins, SeaWorld, Dolphin Swim, yada yada yada. It's a, I don't even remember the dimensions on this. Okay, so this is a 40 by 30, but it's actually 40 by 29 I have written down, or 15 3/4 by 11.81 centimeter or inches, sorry. It's 40 colors. I paid $9.99 for this. It's gonna be kind of a post review, but not really, because you can't buy this from Wotion anymore. You can get some paintings from them, but you're better off going to AliExpress. And I found two stores on AliExpress that offer this painting. DSP and Zoestar, I believe. I don't know. I'll link both of those in the description box for you. So, I mean, I'll go over it. I'll go over my experience with it and stuff. Because even if this was still available on Wotion online on Amazon, I wouldn't recommend buying it from them because it didn't turn out good. It wasn't not a good experience working on this canvas. And you can kind of see, I mean, we'll do a side-by-side in a minute, but let me just put up a little picture up here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about while we talk about it. And then we'll do like a formal side-by-side. So let's put that in there right now. So you can see that the size offered just was not a good fit. You can't, there's dolphins jumping back there. You can kind of make it out from the distance we're at. Not really. I think the overall colors here are a tad bit too dark. I mean, you can get the idea that this is a turtle, a couple of sea turtles swimming, but not really. Just kind of get the idea. Enough, I guess. You can't make out the trees, which I kind of knew. But then you get these blobs here that are also supposed to be dolphins. And I know I just mentioned them a second ago, but now I have to go into detail. But they don't look enough like dolphins. So even though I was able to see the chart, I guess all I did was look at like this stuff to see how clear this stuff I thought would look. And it looked okay. I think originally they had advertised this with 50 colors. Had it had the 50 colors, I think it would have been worse off. As hard as that may be to believe, really it's in the bigger paintings that you want more colors. So something in this size, a 40 by 30, you don't want 50 colors because then it's, I don't know. Like, for example, down in this corner here, if this had like 5 or 6 different colors in here when I first looked at it online, I think it would have made it look even more sloppy, I guess, or unclear had they kept those colors in. It would take away from it. You know, you get to a certain size, and if you start adding more colors, then you have to figure you have to put them somewhere. And so by doing that, it takes away from other spots. This was pretty scattered. There was some color blocking up here, and this is the other thing that really looks bad on it, is that you get this solid color of blue, which in the original picture makes sense, but when translated to this particular diamond painting, it doesn't. The sunset looks okay, But when you get into like the drills on this, were some of the worst drills I have ever worked with. And I just want to show you really quickly the amount of garbage I had. And this was me trying not to be too picky, because if I was as picky as I wanted to be. So there we have all of that, and it's a full container. So ignore the nails on this hand. If you watched my last drill with me, you'll know what that's all about. But so you get this full container here, and the problems are full ranging from, I mean, everything from, most of it was just massive holes, like big craters like you see on that one right there. Misshapen. Within one color you could have 5 or 6 different sizes of the actual drills, which obviously doesn't work when you're diamond painting a square. You can get away with it a little bit more with rounds. You have a little bit more wiggle room when it comes to that. And I'm going to get in and I'll show you a close-up of this canvas so in a little bit here, so you can see what I'm talking about with the size difference. I had, in order to not run out, I did have to use a couple of not so nice looking drills, I guess we'll say. But then when we get into this, you can see here some of my leftovers. It's very inconsistent. Like F, I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough. There's like, that's a tiny amount to have left over. And it's hard to show you in these containers when you have other colors below it. But same with E. And E and F were pretty big colors in this particular painting. I have one left in this one here, 39. I have none left in 14, which is 7, and they're all mixed up. I have a handful left there, but most of those are garbage in that number 35 there. I ran out of a couple other numbers that are on the bottom of this garbage one. So, I mean, it was just bad. I was so nervous toward the end on this last section. I did this top part here last. I was so nervous by the time I got to that I wasn't going to have enough. And I thought I was going to end up digging from my stash. I could have and just said, forget about it, you know. Why stress out? Just grab from your stash. But it wouldn't really be fair for the sake of the review if I were to pull from my stash before I actually got to see if they offered everything. So then when we get into, here's the rest of the colors, you can see you get a pretty good amount left over for some colors. And then other colors, you don't get very much. It's because every single color, there was no color that was exempt from the amount of trash that you would pull out. You'd dump your colors into a tray and immediately have to pull half of them out for holes or being misshapen. But let me just bring this canvas up and just show you. It doesn't really matter where I show you, but you can see that a lot of my drills aren't even very consistent or lined up. Or like that drill right there, it looks like a hole, but it's actually dirty. The yellows in particular were disgusting, and they looked dirty. They looked like they just, you can see that there. They look like they just got dirt all over them, but I've scrubbed it down, and you can see the inconsistency there with some of those drills and the spacing that you get with some of them. Especially in these blue colors, these lighter blues, it was bad. And right there you can see just dirt. And some of them had incredible detail, like right in here. The grays and the rose color there. You can see the cuts on them are exceptional, even with those teal ones. But then you have ones like the blue where the cuts aren't as good. And those blues in particular were very soft and rubbery, and you could pinch them with the tweezers and they would hold the shape that you pinched. So they're very malleable. So yeah, I'm glad that this is done and over with. I'm glad that they no longer have this painting for me to even say to you guys to go get it, because I highly do not recommend. Which is unfortunate, because in the unboxing, this got a 9.5 out of 10, which is why I say Don't just listen to that. If I were to go through this really fast, I won't go into detail on this because we know we got a 9.5 on the unboxing. So the image quality is terrible. It was not a good size offered. It was very pixelated. A lot of the images are unclear and they're just blobs of color. I was really excited about this. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I thought even if it's a little pixelated, I'm okay with that. I'm not okay with this, and this will not get framed or displayed on my wall. So I would give it a 0.5 point out of the 2 points, just because you can see some of the details. I mean, you can see it better through the camera than I can see it, but you can barely see this guy's little happy face. Same with up here. You know, the dolphins just don't look as good as I thought that they would, even having the advantage of seeing the chart before I bought it. So I would maybe go with a 0.5 point. I would give it no points for the bead quality, because there were more bad ones than good ones. The glue quality was really good. I'll give them that. You know, I will give it to them where they deserve it. So yeah, 1 point for the glue quality. I'm struggling here with the fun factor because I did have fun at first. Like when I probably did the first 2 squares down here, it was when I started getting in to like over here and toward the middle that I realized that there was a lot of really bad issues with this painting. So I'll still give it a 0.5 point because half of it was fun. So right now it's sitting at 2 out of 4, or out of 5, sorry. The canvas condition was really good. There was some wrinkling in the canvas itself, and it kind of translates. Let me see if the camera will show it to you. Not really, I guess. That's kind of a hard thing to show on camera. It doesn't really translate. When I was working on it, it was noticeable that, like, you can kind of see on the canvas there where the wrinkling is. Oh, not that wrinkling. That's from me. That I caused that wrinkling. But there was a couple of pinches in the actual double-sided sticky tape. So it did kind of cause a little bit of issues. There's a little bit of warping going on, but not too bad. So canvas condition was really good. The simple clarity was amazing. So 1 point for that. Canvas condition, 1 point for simple clarity. Communication is a freebie. And again, with Amazon, you break this down. Instead of 2 points, it's 1 point. So that 1 point can be designated to description accuracy. And I did say in the unboxing that the description was very accurate, but I'm jumping ahead. I would not recommend this painting, but this painting doesn't exist, so that's where another part of the struggle comes in. They have some other paintings, but until I order them, I can't really give them a fair recommendation. So right now, I will say no. I don't recommend, I wouldn't buy from this store again, not even to test to see if they're good. Not when there's so many other sellers on Amazon. But again, they do get the 1 point for description accuracy, so we get 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half, 5 and a half, 6 out of 10. Let me average that out really quick. So that leaves us with an average of 7.75 out of 10. I leave the cutoff at 8.5 as far as if I recommend or don't. The good thing here is that this painting is no longer offered. So for this painting, don't recommend. I am going to highly suggest, because this is such a beautiful painting on AliExpress, and you can get it in a variety of sizes for pretty much the same cost. So I think on AliExpress I was able to find this. I'm trying to think of the size offhand. I want to say it's a 60 by 45, and it was about $13 or $14. Don't quote me on that. I'll link it down below. That is going to be a way better size. This painting could have been better, well, with better drills for one. The drills were garbage, and that alone makes for a bad painting. Very inconsistent. It was like every bead came from a different company. That's how bad they were. So the silver lining here is that this painting no longer exists. So really the scoring means nothing. When I found this on AliExpress, I found this in a couple of versions. So they had the dolphins, they had the sea turtles, they had a whale version. And I do believe I found sharks even. So you can get this in a variety of versions. And I do want to say that this dolphin one goes this way. And the turtle one has trees on this side instead of this side. So you can get a full, like, seascape, I guess. But why don't we put in a side-by-side, because that's my favorite part, is the side-by-side, so we can see what how they compare to the original. Let's do that really quick. So, as much as it's a bummer that I did this whole painting for no reason, essentially, there's plenty of reasons. I kind of want to order this in a bigger size. I'm not big on ordering paintings I already have, but I think that it could work well for a small versus large, round versus square type of deal. You know what I mean? So I think I might order from AliExpress in a bigger size, and then we can really compare if it's worth the bigger sizes. You know, and I am not knocking anybody who thinks that this turned out beautiful and they like it just as is. Bless your hearts that you can see more beauty in this than I can. I really, truly mean that. I think I'm just bummed because I have so many other paintings. I feel like I wasted my time working on this when that time could have been given to a different painting that would have A, turned out better, B, been more enjoyable, or C, just all of the above. I don't know what else to say on this. So this is a nice quick video. Like I said, go to AliExpress, get that one. I'll link both of those stores down below. I think I'm also going to order it. I do say though, if you get this, don't get it in, this is a 40 by 30 and it did measure pretty close. I would say no smaller than a 50 by 60. Honestly, this painting, or the 60 by 45, that would be okay too, I think. There's so much beautiful detail in this painting. It really deserves a bigger canvas to really be able to show you everything and make this painting worth it. There's just so much that's not being shown in this painting that makes this painting so much better than it is. Like, even the flowers and the coral down here this is not doing it any justice. Is what I'm trying to say. So, yes, I do love this painting. I do recommend it from a different store in a different size. Square or round, doesn't matter. Whatever they offer, just as long as it's not a 40 by 30. Definitely not a 40 by 30. So, okay, with that, I'm going to let you go because I have a lot to do to put this away. I have to go through all the leftovers and get rid of all that garbage and all that crap now. So, with that, I will let you go. Have an awesome day. Have fun diamond painting something better than this. Have fun doing whatever it is that makes you happy. I love you, friends, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.